How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another week, another episode of the eNVision Growth Podcast. I'm your host, Alex Portillo, I don't know who I'm joined by today because it looks like Lynn, but I'm not sure if it's Lynn because she's got a workout outfit inspired by Vegito. If you are a Dragon Ball fan, you may know who that is. And so I don't know who I'm joined by today, but we have someone here with me as my co-host.
Vegito is my favorite, so that's why I have this workout outfit, and I wasn't going to change because we have to do 2 workouts a day, so I just thought I'd keep it on for the podcast.
Fair enough. I mean, she looks way more intimidating than I do. I have my Live Wild Hunt Hard shirt by Remy Warren, which is actually a hunter that we aspire to, that we look up to, that we are inspired by. We know him, a little bit on a personal level, which is cool. And so it's just shout out to Remy for all the merch that you create and all the things that you do, man. We really appreciate you. Mm-hmm. And so it's really cool. It's been a great week so far. Lynn, How about you kick us off and let us know how your week is going? How'd your week go?
You guys, it's the first week of 75 hard, yep. And it's been pretty good, actually. I've been able to successfully complete all the days. So far, I've been doing the water, which has been the hardest part, actually, of this challenge. You'd think it'd be the 2 workouts with a baby and a husband, but it's not. It's the water for me. So that has been something I have to be intentional about. I chugged a lot last night, and it was rough. So overall, good week. I'm feeling a lot better. I'm feeling more energized, even though I have to wake up a lot earlier to get my first workout in. But it's been good. I'm feeling more motivated, I guess.
Okay, fair enough. Well, you kind of beat me to it because I was going to do a quick check-in point. So It might get a little repetitive here in a second. But I'm glad that your week is going well. I'm glad that you're adjusting to 75 hard. It has been an adjustment for myself. So I guess this is where I'll kick it off like this. If you listened to last week's episode, Lynn and I started the 75 Hard Challenge again. This is our second time doing it. And so this is the first week that we've gone through it, and it's been definitely an adjustment, but it's been a good adjustment in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I've had to make some pivots, I've had to make some schedule changes, and I've had to work out like at 11 o'clock at night, basically, to do my outdoor workout, but I've remained intentional, I've remained disciplined, and it's that skill that I've learned through cold plunging that I've wanted to transfer and implement into all areas of my life. And I'm so happy and so thankful that 75 Hard is helping me accomplish that. Yeah. Now, like I mentioned last time, I don't always want to rely on some sort of challenge or some sort of competition to help me be disciplined. But if this is what kicks off the routine, if this is what kicks off that habit, then I'm all for it. So I'm very grateful, I'm very thankful. Yeah. Andy Frisella, shout out to you for creating this program. Thanks again. Mm-hmm. But anyways, Lynn, let's just check in real quick. You just mentioned that, you talked about how your week went with 75 hard, and you said that the hardest thing has been the water, correct? Yeah. Mm-hmm. What has been the easiest thing?
Well, the not drinking has been easy because I haven't done that for quite a while. The workouts actually haven't been too bad, but it's different. Okay, so I had someone reach out to me about a question which I think is important I'll answer it just here. How do you work out with children or having kids? And that surprisingly hasn't been the hardest part for me because I try to involve Rhaegar. The biggest thing I've been doing is showing him that example, like I mentioned in our previous episode of what I wanted to do with 75 Hard. So I've been having him join in earlier in the morning. I try to do most of it without him, but then he'll wake up because he senses me not there, and I'll just have him come on the ground, stretch with me while I'm doing abs, or I have him in his crib and I hold his hands while I'm doing squats and leg work and stuff like that. So I would say the workouts, because we go on walks or doing just them with him, so they're more enjoyable. It's not like going to the gym and doing a full workout and lifting and stuff. It's very different. I'm adjusting, so it's not really heavy workouts, but it's still getting my body moving, and I think that counts. So those have been really good, and the reading has been pretty easy because it's also a workbook for my job, so I'm able to use that time also to get it done during the workday because I'm reading it for work. So that's helpful. When I finish it, it will be a little harder finding the time during the day.
Fair enough. Well, no, I appreciate that perspective because...
But what about you?
No, you're fine. Well, I appreciate that perspective because we got to experience a little bit of what it would be like working out with Rhaegar prior to starting 75 Hard.
Yeah.
So we were house sitting / dog sitting for some friends of ours, and they have a home gym. And that was really cool, for me at least, to not have to drive to the gym. That has been a hack for me. I've never had... Well, I guess when we had the apartments and when we were living in Texas, the gym was there, so we didn't have to drive anywhere. So that was a nice, I guess, insight or feel. It
helped us with the 75 Hard Challenge, too, having it right there.
Well, what I'm trying to say is that it was a good feeler to feel what it would be like to have a gym near you and not have to drive. But then again, it's an apartment gym. Not that it was bad. We got everything that we needed out of it, and they had really good machines. But these friends that we were watching their house for, they had like the whole 9 yards of everything you would need for a gym, and it was really cool to again just get up, walk over to the garage and work out. And so one of the times I worked out a little bit later in the morning than I would normally, and Lynn was up, Rhaegar was up, and so we brought out his playpen. I think is what it's called. Yeah, his playpen.
Little pack and play.
Pack and play, and we took it to the garage and we set it up there. And as I was working out, Lynn started joining me, and then Rhaegar was just kind of like watching, and we'd make it very interactive, right? I was playing music, and I was dancing as I was working out and just making him giggle, making him laugh. Lynn was doing the same thing. And then once he got a little bit fussy that he wanted to get out of the playpen because we could tell he kind of wanted to be out there with us, Lynn picked him up, and we would take turns holding him, and he would help spot for one another. So an example is I was doing bench press. Lynn would hold Rhaegar, and Rhaegar would put his hands on the bar, and I'd be like, okay, ready, you're going to help me lift this, and I'll count down from 3, 2, 1, and then I start pushing it up myself, but you just see him like lift it up a little bit with Lynn, and he's moving with it, and then he wouldn't let go of it, and I'm like, all right, you got to let it go, I got to go down, and then Lynn like kind of tugged him, and he finally let go of the hands, and then as I would, go down for the bench, for the bench press, Rhaegar would squat down with Lynn, and you could see he'd be like, in his attempt to spot. It was just the cutest thing ever. And that is the kinds of habits, some of the habits that we want to create with him and help lay that foundation for him, so that way he sees us take fitness seriously. He sees us take our nutrition and our health seriously, and we want him to take it as seriously, if not better than us. Right?
And I think it removes the stress too, because when you are working and a parent and you just have so much going on, you're like, when am I going to get my workout in? The kids are here, I have to worry about this and that. If you let them be involved, it's like a whole play session for them, first of all. It wears them out, get them ready for a nap, but it's also you teaching them this, so as they grow up, that's going to be your workout buddy. You can instill these great things on them while you're working on them personally, and they'll be able to work out with you, and it's no longer like you're not babysitting or having to worry about your children, because they're able to do it with you, and it makes it more enjoyable. I mean, it doesn't have to be as serious too. It's fun. It makes it enjoyable.
You can make it an activity. And in fact, the person who had reached out to you, you had mentioned, I think you said something that was very great, and I want you to re-say it here, because I think it's going to help a lot of people, especially if you find yourself in a situation where you want to work out, or you want to stick to your routine, but then life happens, or you have a baby, or you have multiple kids, and it just makes it a little bit more difficult. I think I really appreciated the way you said it. You said you have to recognize that your workout routines are now going to look different than what they did before. But just because they look different doesn't mean that you can't be intentional about them and still get the same results. And so please, I want you to speak on that.
Yeah, because I think we just keep that perspective that it has to look like when we're in college, going to the gym, having all this free time. You're lifting really heavy, you're maxing out, you're doing all this stuff at the gym. And when you have children and a life, it gets busy. You have other priorities that aren't necessarily going to be fitness. It's your health, but not necessarily like, I'm going to be the heaviest lifter in here, I'm going to do the biggest clean, it's different. So if you acknowledge, hey, it's not going to look the same, you're not going to feel guilty. You're not going to feel bad about yourself or what you're working towards. You're going to be setting, okay, you know what? It's not going to be the same, but I'm making progress towards what I want. And it just gives a way better mindset, a way better perspective. And you get that growth mindset. You're not just stagnant, like stuck. This is how I used to work out. This is how you can work out now. And it just, if you recognize it, then that stress is just gone.
It goes away. Yeah, and I think that's very helpful. And again, I appreciate you sharing that with our friend who reached out, and then being able to share it here, because I think that will really help people make that adjustment, make that pivot about, making, incorporating health and fitness back into their routine. Cool.
I think so.
All right. Well,
what was the easiest and hardest parts for you for the 75 hard?
Well, before I answer that, is this going to be consider our peaks and valleys, or are we still doing peaks and valleys? Because I don't want to forget about that.
We can do that. Consider that our peaks and valleys.
Fair enough. Okay.
Because I have a different peak kind of related to it though. So.
Okay. So for me, the hardest part. Let me think about this. It wasn't. I would say the food cravings hasn't been bad. I think that the diet that we're following, if I'm craving something sweet, I can go grab a piece of fruit, and that kind of helps cure or curve that sweet tooth. So it hasn't been terrible. The water I've been pretty good with, and I haven't struggled with it.
Except yesterday.
And that's where I was going to go with that, except for yesterday. So I really hope that this isn't too much TMI, but I realized we were having dinner and hanging out with some friends yesterday, and I realized that I had not finished my water. I still had about a quarter of a gallon left. And so we got home, put Rhaegar to bed, and I was drinking it, and I was up. I stayed up a little bit later. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to chug this completely, because this has happened in the past, and I know what it's going to do to me. So I figured I was safe. I took about an hour and a half worth of time, and I was drinking my water, I was watching TV, I was cleaning a little bit, getting things done, and continued drinking my water. Well, I got to about, I don't know, maybe a fourth left of my 32-ounce container. And I was like, you know what, I'm tired, my eyes are hurting, I'm exhausted, I'm just going to go to bed. So I'm like, let me just chug this water. So I start chugging it. I go to the bathroom before I go to bed, and then I go off to bed. So I'm like, okay, I'm fine. I woke up maybe 3 hours later, maybe, I didn't look at the time, but I had to run to the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom, do my business, and then as I was, peeing, it hurt so bad. I'm not even trying to exaggerate. If you've ever held going to go pee, one, it's bad for you, right? I think we all know that it's bad for you, but the pain in my kidneys that I felt, I thought I was gonna die. I was after I finished going to the bathroom, I hunched over on our bathtub, and I'm just kind of sitting there squeezing, and I'm like, someone just kill me now, please, because this is terrible. And
he's never had a UTI, ladies.
So I was traumatized last night. I go back to bed, and then I woke up maybe an hour later and had to go to the bathroom again. Thankfully, it was not painful.
So much water though.
Thankfully, it was not painful, and I've continued having going to the bathroom this morning and no issues. But lesson learned there is be intentional about your water and spread it out throughout the day, so you're not having to do what I did, because that was rough.
He's already had a lot today, I think.
That was rough. Yeah, I think I just finished half a gallon a little bit ago.
Oh wow, yeah,
and
way ahead.
We still have a lot of time in the day, so I'll be able to get that done today, no problem. But
what has been the easiest?
The easiest, I would say, the outdoor workouts. Because it is springtime, right?
It's beautiful here.
The warm weather, the sun's rising early in the day, so we can get up, and it's nice and cool. We get up at 5 o'clock. This morning we got up at 5. About 5:30, we got out of bed once Rhaegar woke up, and then we got dressed real quick and we went for a walk. And we did a 2.5-mile walk, and we hear the birds chirp. You feel the nice breeze. The sun's rising.
Sweet flowers.
Yeah, you smell the flowers. It's just, this is one of my favorite times of year, because really my favorite time of year is fall.
Yeah.
But it's not too hot. It's staying, I think, relatively warm. I think it was in the 70s today. It's going to be in the 70s, maybe low 80s. But that has been the easiest part, is doing the outside workout. Because in fact, yesterday, both the workouts we ended up doing outside. And so I would say that's been the easiest part so far.
Yeah, I love being able to work out. I did want to add that, for me, a peak this week is how supportive those around us have been of the 75 hard.
Yes, great call out.
Because the diet change is a big difference of what we've been eating, which is something we've talked about, how we need to get back in the habit. And everyone around us has kindly adjusted their diet for us. We just said we were with friends, and we said, we kind of have a pretty strict diet, and they're like, let's just do it. And they ate healthy with us, and it was really nice. So I just think that's a cool peek to see people supporting us and improving their health too.
Yeah, and people have asked us questions, why are you doing it? We explain that. What is it about? We explain that. And it's just really cool to be able to interact with people that way. I really hope that we've piqued an interest in them to either want to challenge themselves, to try this challenge, to look at a different lifestyle, to look at a different diet. Well, I mean, that is lifestyle, right? We want to look at eating well and a diet as a lifestyle, not just a diet. But I hope that through our testimony, we inspire people to reevaluate, or just evaluate, not reevaluate, but just evaluate their life and see if there's areas of their lives that they want to improve. I think that's the whole goal, right? God calls us to be servants, be stewards, be examples, and so that's what we try and do. We're not perfect by any means. I've never claimed that we are, but I think that we try and we work and we learn from failures, because we fail a lot, as I mentioned before.
I'm hoping I don't fail this challenge, though, you guys. Alex, you can learn from it, but I already learned. I take my picture first thing in the morning, guys.
Well, yeah. Okay, let me rephrase that then. We fail in life. This is one of these challenges where you don't want to fail.
I don't want to fail. So I'm not gonna fail.
There you go. Speak it into existence. Yes. I love it. Claim it.
But you can if you want to learn.
Yeah,
it's good for you.
Yeah, no, let's not do that. Okay. We'll just continue the trajectory we're doing right now, and I think we'll be completely fine. Okay. Perfect. But no, I'm real quick before we get started, because I think we have a pretty cool episode today. I just want to say that you've been doing awesome, and I appreciate you, and just continue doing your great work, because I see Rhaegar kind of see you and see how you're interacting. Well, I see how you interact with him, but I see how you're involving him in the workouts, and you can see how excited he gets just to be able to walk around on the floor. I asked him to do a push-up challenge with me, and he was kind of crawling, and you see him kind of like go down, and then he just kind of stayed there. But it was pretty funny. So yeah, no, we just want to be those examples, and I just appreciate you, and I want to give you your flowers.
Thanks, I appreciate that. I'm still nervous about the whole 75 days of it, but the first week went well, so I'm just going to try my best to keep adjusting.
Hey, just like making your bed, like we talked about. Yes. One good deed, one good action leads to motivation, and it will lead to more things getting done. So just take it one step at a time. Don't look at all the tasks that got to be done by the end of the day. Just, okay, what can I do today? All right. Or what can I do right now? Okay, well, I can work out right now. I have that free time. Get that done. Oh, I can start drinking my water. Get that done. Read my 10 pages. Get that done. So just continue looking at it that way.
Yep, I still need to read today, but
same here.
We'll get it done.
Perfect. All right. Well, today we have a very interesting episode. Lynn is actually going to lead us in this one, so I am going to turn it over to you.
Okay. So this is a little different episode. We just wanted to try something fun. I mean, we've had a lot of serious conversations, so this is a little break in that, and then next week we'll be resuming with more deeper topics to talk about with relationships. But I found something called the marriage tag. And
sounds interesting.
Yeah. And it
sounds pricey, actually. When I hear tag, it could either be good for hunting, which, hey, real quick. Okay. Yes, I'm very excited. I drew it. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm really sorry. I had to think about that, but I'm very excited because God blessed me, and I drew a tag. I drew an archery tag for mule deer for August, so I'm super excited about that. Lynn, unfortunately, my dad, my father-in-law, Lynn, my brother, and my brother's friend all didn't draw anything, but that doesn't. Okay, we don't quit there.
Yeah.
Right? This is just a road bump, a speed bump in the road. There's many other things that we can do. And we're exploring other options. There's a second draw. There's a first come first serve. There's other states.
We'll see. There's fishing.
There's fishing, but no.
And ducks. We're gonna. Maybe we'll do some chucker hunting.
We're gonna do some big game hunting this year. We're gonna make it happen. I have faith. We're gonna make it happen. But I just wanted to say that I'm excited.
We are excited for him too, and he better shoot straight and get a deer to fill the freezer, because now it's all on him. You got this, though.
Cool. All right. Let's go for it.
Okay, so for this marriage tag, it's just a bunch of questions. I guess it's kind of testing us on our relationship. So we'll see if Alex gets it wrong or I get it wrong or we get in a fight. I think that's the point, but we're not going to fight because we don't do that. We'll just
in public.
Laugh.
She yells at me all the time. In private.
I don't. But it's just kind of a cute little marriage tag to get to know us and our quick relationship and fun little questions.
Okay, sounds good.
So we're just going to walk through these questions and see how many we get through. There's 33, but I think some of them are kind of short.
Okay. I mean,
Just
you lead it,
Q&A.
so we'll go.
So the very first one. When did we meet?
Are you looking for a specific date?
Well, I don't know if you know the date, but what was it?
Okay, well, officially we met a long time ago when we were kids, and it was unofficial because you and your friends live across the street from my parents' house, and you would always wave or we'd wave when we would see you guys, outside. So that's when we, I guess, met. But when we officially met, it was when I was working for your dad as a kindergarten aide, which would have been 2011.
That's right, I think.
Yeah, the fall of 2011. Because that's when I graduated high school.
Well, okay, so already got one kind of wrong because I came into the room on the last day of school. So
it was 2011 still.
But it was the summer.
Okay.
It wasn't the fall.
So I got half of it. I get half a point.
I was wearing a cute outfit from Pretty Little Liars.
You were.
And I went in and I was like, hey, Dad, it's the last day of school. And Alex was there. And my dad was like, hey, have you met Alex? And I was like, he's the kid across the street. Nice to meet you. And it was awkward and weird.
For her, I was just working. But
yeah, it was weird to me.
Fair enough. Yeah. So.
Because I banged on your garage door like 10 years previously, so.
Yeah, you can tell that story if you want. That's fine with me.
Well, what if it comes in here?
All right,
okay, no, I'll tell. Okay, actually, what was your first opinion of me? Is the next question. I'm going to answer that first, so it will be reference to this story.
Okay.
So, my first opinion of him, all of my friends, we lived right next door to each other. So, I'm here, one friend's here, one's in the back. And we would hang out at this friend's house over here, because she had a trampoline, and that was fun. So, we would just be in the backyard, and right across the street is Alex's house when we were little, because we lived right across from each other. And my friend dared me to jump the fence and bang on his garage door and see what happens. So I always do dares. That's a problem.
I believe it was a triple dog dare, wasn't it?
Probably a triple dog dare. But I do that, hop over the fence, bang super, super hard, and I jump back over this fence. I'm booking it. And he comes out and he's just like, what's happening? And we're just looking through the fence holes, seeing what happens. And then he goes back inside. And then I do it one more time, and he comes back out. And he looks all mad. And that was my first impression of you, as a grumpy high school student.
I mean, what would you expect? Someone knocks on your door and literally plays ding
it's just
door
like what I saw. So to me, you're like in your McQueen shirt and just like, little grumpy high school guy.
That's hilarious.
You're probably freshman or sophomore.
That's hilarious.
I don't know. Yeah. So there you go.
Fair enough. Okay, so then what was the question again?
What's your first opinion of me?
First opinion of you, since we officially met in your dad's classroom, I mean, you were really nice. You came in, your dad introduced us, and you said hi, and then you asked me, like, how's my day going? You asked me, do I like working for your dad? How's the school year? How are the kids?
I was just being nosy, trying to see if you liked my dad, probably.
And so you just asked me a bunch of questions, but you were really nice, super friendly, so that was my first impression.
Well, I feel badly now. Thanks. Okay, this is a fun one. When did you know I was the one?
Okay. So I think I've spoken about this before, but I knew you were the one after we broke up, and I started choosing you for everything you bring into my life, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and not just the ugly. Because that's where I was wrong, is I was just focusing on all the negativity that I perceived as negativity in my life that you brought into my life. But when I chose you and chose you completely and shifted that mindset, that's when I knew you were the one for me.
Wow. I think mine was earlier than when we broke up, because I was already invested. I had never dated anyone, and so when I first started dating you, it was where I was already pretty invested in where it could potentially lead. So that's why when you broke up with me, it was such a shock, because I felt you were already the one. And at that point, even when you broke up with me, it was maybe we'll get back together again.
Yeah.
Which is why I sent you a little smiley face the next day when I was like, sure, let's go to dinner.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have a specific time, like, point, you know, where you're just like, I'm marrying that person.
Okay.
But I always felt very committed, and that probably within the first year of it will work.
Yeah. No, I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. Not one of those cute romantic, we were sitting there and he did this and I just
lovers.
knew he was the one. Not like that, because relationships, you know, take a lot of work and you learn about a person through every stage of it.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned that before, right? Is that the advice that I was given is take the time to learn your significant other or your relationship at every stage of the relationship, because people will change through the dating phase, the comfortable phase, the engagement phase, the comfortable phase of engagement, and then the marriage phase, and then, you know, again, staying comfortable after or getting comfortable after marriage. So there's people through time will change. We've changed. I've changed the perspective.
So much.
You've gone up on the list, actually. So
Yay! About time. What was that, like number 10?
no, I think you were 4, but I can't remember if I mentioned the full story of our first date here. But if I didn't, here's a quick short version of it. At this time, I had just gone through a couple breakups, and those breakups involved cheating, unfortunately, from the other person to me. No hard feelings anymore, no anger or anything like that. Like it's been forgiven, and it is what it is. It was another subject or another time frame of my life that helped shape me into who I am today, and so, you know, it is what it is. But fresh off of that, Lynn and I went on our first date, and I told her, you know, hey, I got, in so many words, I'm not going to go through the whole conversation because it was pretty long, but the short version of it is I said, hey, I just got out of a committed relationship. You know, we were together for a while, and I got cheated on. I don't have time to be, you know, on the lookout and seeing if you're going to cheat on me. If you're going to cheat on me or you don't want to be with me, just text me, call me, email me. Call, tell someone to tell me, Facebook me, I don't know, figure it out, but don't do that to me. Like, let's respect each other enough to not do that to each other. And second, you know, right now my priorities are my family. That's always going to be a priority. My school, my siblings, my career. Like, these are the things that are important to me.
Yeah, see, I was not number 4. I was like number 6. Well,
siblings and family go together, so number 4.
Oh, okay.
And then you came. But, you know, I basically said to her that you have to be okay with not being number 1, and you have to be okay with me always being there for my family and helping out how I can within reason, right? And that obviously has evolved through time. We've gotten better, and we make sure that we help each other, both of our families, which is important to both of us. But it was important for me to make, and then one last one, which is one of the most important ones. My siblings and I are 10 and 12 years apart. My sister being the youngest, so we're 12 years apart. I'm the oldest. She was going through, you know, she was a kid, and I knew that she was going to eventually get to the teenage phase, and there was going to be things that I would not be able to help her out with. There was going to be things that I wouldn't understand. And so this is young Alex looking out for older Alex. So shout out to you, young Alex. I looked at Lynn and I said, if you want to win my heart, you win my sister's heart, because she will go through things that I cannot help her with. She will experience things or have questions that I cannot help her with, or I can't give her my perspective. So that is the key to me. You want to have a relationship with me, realize and understand that my family is very important to me. And she took it and ran with that. Like, she has a really great relationship with my sister. They are really, really close, and I'm very grateful and blessed because of that. And so that, you know, again, longer conversation condensed there. That is where, you know, I would say that we've, obviously, how we got to this topic is that we've changed, or your position has changed because we've grown through our relationship phase.
I'm not down there at the bottom of the list now.
Yeah.
I'm number 2.
Number 2.
I'm number 2. That's like, I'm right under God, guys. Yeah. I've moved up in life.
Well, that's biblically what's supposed to happen, so.
Well, it's great, though.
But I willingly accept it.
Thank you. I'm happy about it. So.
Oh, man. I love it. All right.
Okay, the next couple questions should be very, very easy. How long did it take to plan the wedding?
Poof. Well, once we decided to actually have a wedding, because we were engaged for 3 years before we got married.
Yeah.
It took us a year.
Yeah. So at year 3 of that engagement is when we started planning it. Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. A year.
What else?
Oh, I thought you had something
else. I was going to add something else, but that's fine.
When did we get married?
We got married right before COVID.
Right
January 18th, 2020. Mm-hmm. I call it the wedding of the year because it was the last party of the year before
really
the world shut down.
And it was a huge wedding, so it was really everyone's last chance to party it up and enjoy life.
Yep, and let me ask you a side question here so it's on record.
Okay.
Her dad looked at both of us and said, I will give you X amount of money. Well, he said, I'll give you a down payment for a house if you guys just elope and decide not to have a big wedding. I didn't want to have a big wedding. I was cool with eloping. I was ready for it. My love over here, exact verbiage. I want to wear a dress. I was like, okay, we're having a wedding.
I didn't have prom, so that was my only time to get a fancy dress.
But ask her how she felt after we had the wedding and see if she made the right decision.
I didn't. It was a mistake. But I think everyone else... It wasn't a mistake, but everyone enjoyed it. You know? Mm-hmm. All the guests had a great time. Mm-hmm. I just felt like I was hosting a party.
Yeah.
And that was what was a lot.
Yeah.
So because of that, I would have much rather... not eloped per se, but had a very, very tiny wedding where it was just our families, maybe a couple friends, that's it.
Yeah.
That would have been nice. But I did enjoy planning the wedding, and I had really special things added in there, and it was nice. But yeah, a house would have been cool. The idea of him buying a down payment on a house now in Nevada, please, I'd take that in a second.
Yeah.
that was
different.
A mistake, yes.
Completely different.
Okay, yeah. So thanks for bringing that one up.
She's salty now.
Yeah, it was just a little. How long have we been married?
We've been married we just hit our 4 years, going on 5.
Yeah, we did. That's a long time, 4 years.
Mm-hmm. It's easy math because 2020, we're in 2024. Hey.
Oh.
But no, I knew.
Okay. Oh, here's one which you already told the story to. How did you propose?
We talked about that in a couple episodes ago, but I proposed using the first antler that you ever found when we were shed hunting.
It was so great. It was the best way to propose. If I were to propose, I think I'd take you into the mountains too, but it wouldn't be a shed because you hadn't found one yet.
That's sad.
I'm sorry.
Ouch. Actually, now that you think about it, my track record in shed hunting isn't that great.
No, I found all of them on your own hunt.
Yeah.
All of them. That's the only thing that kept me going.
I found I don't even want to disclaim how many I found because it's probably embarrassing.
Your dad has found more than you know.
I think so. Wow.
It's okay.
I need to get out more.
It's okay. But it was fun.
I guess that's why I wear glasses because I can't see. So maybe I just need LASIK.
Oh, no, your brother couldn't see either.
No. My dad couldn't see him because he had sunglasses. He stepped right over a shed and my brother found it because he wasn't wearing sunglasses. Oh, no. My dad wasn't wearing sunglasses. My dad just couldn't see.
But your dad found all the sheds this last trip and your brother walked right over one.
Yes, that was at the end of the day. That is true.
His dad was just on point in finding those sheds.
That is true.
Okay, now these are... Okay, these are more fun ones coming in. The back and forth, so we'll both answer back and forth. How many children did you want before marriage?
Before marriage, 2.
I didn't want any at all, even in marriage.
Mm-hmm.
How many do you want now?
4.
Me too.
And really, I think we've talked about this before, so apologies that I keep saying that, but really one thing that stuck to me was I was listening to Patrick Bet-David's podcast one day, and he had mentioned how he made this comment that really stuck out to me. PBD said, not enough right people are having... He said, the right people aren't having enough kids. The wrong people are having a lot of kids. And that just kind of, it hit me in a way because I always wanted to. Mm-hmm. And the way, I guess I should explain why he said that. He said that the people who are contributing to society, who have really good morals, really good values, really good standards, they're not having enough kids. But the people who may not have that or don't have that are having a lot of kids, which we need to have more people with good morals, good values, good foundation. we need to have more of those people in this world. And so that kind of, I don't know, really, it might be silly to say it, out loud, but it really hit me. It really struck me. God calls us to
have
multiply,
kids.
right? Multiply, be fertile and multiply. And the more children I think we have, with the foundations that we're trying to instill in our children, I believe that we will raise, that's the right word, we'll raise
we
contributing.
Create them too.
Yeah, but we will raise, great people, great human beings that will contribute to society in the right direction.
Yeah.
And that's the goal.
I love that. We'll probably talk about Rhaegar's birth story and just conceiving him and stuff down the road, but like I said, I wanted 0 and now I want 4, and that's a huge testament to God too.
And I'm scared because we have 1 right now, right? And Lynn's family, twins run in Lynn's family. So I'm afraid that when we try for number 2, we get 3, and then we need to balance it out for the 4th. That's why we want to have an even amount. We go for 4, and then she has another set of twins. Now we're at 5, and then we have to go to 6.
So
and you see how quickly this can get out of control.
Why do you think so many have 8 and 10 kids? They're just it doesn't balance out.
I'm scared about that. I'm scared.
It'll be fun. It's okay. It's just a whole party of children all working out together.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh,
that's true.
That'd be so cute.
It's true.
Okay, what does my family think of you?
I don't know. It's a mixed emotion. Well, it depends on who you ask. There's days where they love me and there's days where they're annoyed with me. So it just really depends on who you ask.
I think they think you're a great husband to me.
Oh, I appreciate that. I know for a while it took, more from your mom.
Yeah.
It took a long time to gain her trust, and I get it.
Well,
you're the only daughter. You're the only child.
And you broke it by breaking up with me. I think that I think until the wedding, she was like, I don't trust this guy. What if he leaves her at the altar? Yeah. But she's just, protecting me.
I disagree. I think I honestly, and this isn't a shot to my mother-in-law at all. I love her very dearly. I think that she didn't trust me until she saw me as a father and as a husband to you when we moved to Texas.
Yeah.
Because I saw her perception really change when she saw, and even for your dad, I wouldn't say your dad trusted me and loves me, but
they always love you, but the trust part I think is hard.
It changed more when we were in Texas because I put myself in their shoes, or I put myself more in your dad's shoes. You're the only child, you're the daughter, the favorite, you're the only one.
I'd be the favorite even if there were other siblings.
You're always going to be nervous when they go out, when your child goes out and makes their own life. Something that I think about with Rhaegar. Right?
Yeah.
I think I try not to linger too much in the future, thinking about the future, but I have thought about, am I doing the right job now to instill those right values and right skills and right foundation for when he gets older? And so I put myself in their shoes, them thinking, well, is my daughter going to be taken care of? Is she going to be loved? Yeah. Is she going to be protected? Is she going to be...
It's scary.
Yeah. And so I think when they saw that and they saw the living environment that we had created, it gave them a lot of peace and it gave them a lot of trust. So I would say that for your mom, it wasn't until we were in Texas that she saw how you were living that I gained that trust.
Yeah, that's actually a good perspective. What about the other way? What does your family think of me?
Well, my mom and my dad and my sister and my brother all looked at me the day we broke up, and all of them in some way, shape, or form called me an idiot. It was either in Spanish, it was in English, or they used, they put some profanity before the idiot part. But they all love you.
And I still had tattoos at that point, so his mom loved me.
They all love you. They all respect you. They all admire you. And they think very highly of you. They always have.
Yeah. I think it's different, though, from a girl's perspective, too. You men in the relationship, especially with me being an only daughter, you have higher expectations to uphold with the relationship. Where I think I do, especially with culturally Hispanic culture, I had some expectations to live up to, like cooking and taking care of you in that way. So I tried to have that, but just for you as a man in general, I think it's harder.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you did good.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Okay. What do my friends think of you? I don't have very many, but...
Well, the ones that you do, maintain communication with, I want to say that they appreciate me, they like me. I don't know what the right word is, but they tolerate me.
But we all have, the same friends, too. So even if I think of, the girls of your friends and stuff.
But I think for this question, it's more the friends that you grew up with that aren't mutual friends.
That's true.
Right?
Well, one liked you because you dated her, so...
Wow.
And then the other one, she likes you.
Okay. Well, there you go.
What about opposite? I think all your friends love me more than you.
Oh yeah, no, all my friends love
I'm just kidding.
No, it's not a lie. All my friends absolutely love you, and they constantly say, "How do I deserve you? How did I get you? How did I earn? How did I deserve you?" Yeah.
Well, they're nice. I think that's just the bros, though. They're always gonna support the girl.
I mean, you've heard from from some of my friends who was very, very hard to earn their trust. You've heard them tell you how super cool you are and how much they appreciate you.
Well, that's nice. I love all of your friends. They're so nice.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next one. What is my worst habit?
Worst habit. Nagging. Just kidding. You rarely nag. You rarely nag. I would say your worst habit. Good question.
It can be like anything.
I don't know if this is necessarily a habit, but you tend to put a lot of stock in. I'm going to just keep it real.
Yeah.
You tend to put a lot of stock and a lot of emotion when relationships or conversations aren't going as you expect them. Mm-hmm. And I think that at times demotivates you and at times affects your just emotional, mental, emotional state, I guess. Because you can get upset or you can start second guessing yourself. Did I do something wrong? And the reality is sometimes you didn't do anything. It's just life happens. People get busy. We get busy, and then there's times that we don't respond to people when we should or when we could or whatever it is there. But it happens, right? Mm-hmm. And I want to believe that the friendships that we do have is they understand that. Mm-hmm. We understand that about them. They understand that about us. That if we don't respond in the moment, the next time we do see each other or hang out, it's like nothing happened or like no time has passed. And so I think that that's where you have some room to grow in still. Yeah. Because you can let that kind of silence or that dynamic affect you in a negative way.
Yeah, I completely agree. I feel like I'm maybe too sensitive to that. I don't want to feel like I'm hurting others or making people upset and then when they're probably not even thinking about it. Yeah. And that's just insecurity.
Correct. I agree.
Yeah. Well, your worst habit, I was thinking not that deep. It was the weird way you brush your teeth and go like, gag and go.
I'm brushing my tongue.
It's an aggressive way of brushing your tongue.
Listen,
it's a weird habit.
There's the saying that says, monkey see, monkey do. The way I brush my teeth is how I've always brushed my teeth because it's how I saw my dad brush his teeth.
Yeah, and now Rhaegar's going to brush his teeth like that, and it's going to be horrible.
And I didn't even realize it until Lynn called it out, honestly. So
Years and years ago.
Yeah, I
thought
guess,
you were going to say biting my nails.
Oh, that's a good one. I didn't think about that. Yeah, maybe I went a little too deep.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
It's good to get call-outs like that.
Yeah.
In public. No, but it's good. Okay, what is my best habit?
The level of your level of care. And well, I guess that's too deep again. Well,
that's okay. It's
the level of care I think is one of your best habits, but in terms of habits like what you described with biting your nails or me brushing my teeth, I would say best habit you have is not recently, but now it's been a while, is making the bed.
I was just going to say that was your best habit that you taught me.
Oh, you took it over now. And sometimes it does annoy me because it's usually like that first task that I like to do that just starts my day off right. But it helps you. I'm cool with it. You can do it.
And I tried to become my grandma Fallon in that sort, so he'll get up to go to the bathroom and then I make it already, so he doesn't have a bed to get back down. Yeah, but it's fun to kind of carry on that tradition of being the annoying grandma saying, no, you're up for the day. Yeah. Too bad.
Yeah.
But I was going to say that was your best habit of like a small habit. Now I got to think of something deep for you. We'll come back. Maybe I'll think of something.
Fair enough. Nothing comes up.
Who wears the pants in the relationship? Oh, I bet that's like a controversial one when people do this marriage tag.
I'd say it depends. You mentioned it a couple episodes ago, and I think it was really well said. I believe that majority of the time I do lead,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll lead our house. But then there are times where I'm failing, and you do a really good job of not making me feel like you are. Usurping is such a rough word to use, but we're gonna go with it.
Yeah.
So you don't make me feel any type of way when you take lead, and you highlighted a couple weeks ago, and it made me think, and it made me realize that other instances in our life where I was failing as the leader of our household, and you've taken charge, and I'm really grateful for that, because you know the direction, you know the vision that we created together, and the direction that we want to go. So if you see me failing and not pulling my weight, you jump right in and you take control and you take lead until you see me ready to be the leader again, and then you just walk alongside me.
Aww. Well, thanks. I definitely was gonna say you wear the pants in the relationship, but I think it's definitely a co-effort too. It's not really you wear the pants. You control everything. You lead, and I follow with our child, and then if you're struggling, I'll hop in there and do what I need to do to support you to get back up.
Yeah.
But I don't really like the wear the pants. I think that's what makes people mad is the way it's put.
I'm wearing shorts right now, so I'm not even wearing pants. You're wearing pants.
I'm wearing Vegito pants. So I do wear the pants right now because Vegito's the best. Anyone who says Gogeta's better, you haven't watched the full episode.
No, listen, okay, we're not even going to get through that now. Now you got me upset, right? I love Vegito. I really do. But you have not seen Gogeta in Dragon Ball GT. Like, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is...
I don't know. No. You're just...
Chef's kiss.
He's wrong, but it's okay. If you could get rid of one thing that belongs to me, what would it be?
One thing that belongs to you. I love you, and this is going to cut. But you've actually recognized that, and so that's good. And I shouldn't have room to speak because my has gone downhill a little bit, but your outdated fashion. Wow. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not trying to retract from what I just said, but there are some outfits that you have that you look beautiful, and you pull them off really great. But there are some outfits that you have that you're trying to look like you're a 60-year-old woman. And it just
like
does
grandma
not work.
Sometimes.
It just does not work. So, and then for my end, like I used to dress really well, and actually now that we're getting back into fitness, I got a haircut last week, so I've realized the importance of having a good image. If you look good, you feel good, you're gonna do good. I firmly believe that because I've lived it. Since being married, I definitely got in that comfortable phase where I was just kind of wearing t-shirts and not really taking care of my grooming or not putting an emphasis on my grooming. And now I've realized that no, it's not fair to me. It's not fair to Lynn if I just neglect those things. So I'm trying. I'm getting better. We were going to go once we get down a little bit more and weight. We're going to go out and do some shopping. So we're excited about that because I do miss. For those of you that know me, you know that I love wearing suits and I love wearing my suits. So I'm excited to go do that again.
I'm excited too. It'll be fun. I'm not a shopper, so I'll have a list and I'll know exactly what I want to get for that and do the research beforehand. But it'll be fun.
Yeah. But and I would say sense of fashion.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say your cologne. Because...
You bought me that cologne I have.
No, he has so many different kinds of cologne. So it says one thing, but I get rid of all... He has the two out that are different, and then he has a drawer of a bunch of others. Like, stick to one scent. The one I specifically like, the Giorgio Armani one that you've worn forever, and I like that. So, that's a little picky, but... He just has so many random ones, and
some of them were gifts.
Some of them smell like I don't know, generic man, if you know what I mean. There's just the smell, like, oh, this smells like a man, like those candles at Bath and Body Works. Now it's White Barn.
Yeah.
And you smell them, and it's like smells cologne-y.
Yeah.
That's no. You should have a scent.
I'm gonna go back to Axe body spray.
Please don't. That reminds me of high school. And just all walk by the lockers. That's all you smell, the guys.
I love it.
But that would,
Yeah.
I only have one scent at a time. He has like 10 colognes down there. He even has a travel bag of mini spray colognes of different ones. Because they come with them.
You never know what you need. You never know where you're going to be.
You are not Howard Wolowitz. You don't need a bazillion musky colognes.
That's hilarious. That's a great reference, actually. I don't have a kit as well organized as he does, so...
No.
Yeah, don't insult him that way.
That was a good question. Okay. Who is the better cook? And we're on question 15, by the way, so we're only halfway through.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, we need to speed it up. I thought we answered a lot more than that. You are. Your cooking is way better than mine.
I feel like you could be really good if you just cooked.
Yeah, I need to put more emphasis on it.
But I like cooking.
I love cooking. I really enjoy it. I don't do enough of it. Mainly because I don't make the time to do research on recipes. But when I was younger, that was my dream. I wanted to be a chef. My dad's a chef, and I look up to him, and I learned a lot of my culinary skills from him. But that's something that I know I can spend more time doing, because when I do it, I absolutely love it. Yeah. I enjoy doing it.
Yeah, you're really good at it. He makes the best Alfredo.
Thank you.
Wish we could eat that now. Okay, this next one could be deep. What do we argue most about?
Recently, it's been long-term vision. And
more so having the mindset to get there, I feel.
Well, more than that, I would say it's more about doubt. Doubting the vision. Doubting the long-term vision is where we argue the most, because if you doubt, I then get defensive and want to defend why you shouldn't doubt, but then your doubt causes me to doubt, and then I'm doubting, which causes you to doubt even further.
Yeah.
And so that's where we've gotten into arguments and gotten into disagreements.
I would agree. I feel, and I guess parenting in some sense of, which is also that doubt of how we want to do stuff.
Yeah.
For the future, which it's all around doubt, which is so hard to not have. Yeah. Especially in today's society, and hearing people think you're crazy and your goals and stuff. But okay, I agree. Let's do a couple more.
Okay, sounds good.
Have you ever pretended to sleep to avoid an argument?
I know you have.
I 100% would always just turn over and say I'm fine and go to sleep.
Yeah, I know you have.
I don't want any confrontation.
Me, I thought you were going to ask, have I ever pretended to sleep to not get caught playing video games. I was going to say, oh yeah, growing up all the time, ask my mom. I thought I was fooling her, and apparently I wasn't fooling her. But yeah, no, for that one, I don't know. I think there have been times where I just prefer not to discuss it at that moment, and I have gone to bed mad, which I do not recommend. Don't go to bed mad.
It's the worst.
Because you never know what can happen. But I would say that for the majority of the times, this might sound rude or mean, but if we've gone to bed angry, I've been like, all right, whatever, you'll get over it. And then I go to bed.
He really does. He's so, I don't know how, he just passed out too, and I'm just there crying or like stressed out.
Yeah.
Awake all night.
Yeah. Now, if it's something that it was my wrongdoing, I do admit my faults, or she'll call me out on them, and then I recognize that I need to own up to my mistakes. But if we're arguing over something petty, I'm not gonna lie, and she is holding resentment, I'm all right, cool, whatever, get over it, and then I go back and I go to bed.
Alex will be petty too. Yeah. Okay, here I'm gonna do 3 more.
Okay.
But this next one could be, I don't know, hard. Have you ever lied to avoid getting in trouble with me?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, what was it?
I mean,
I want to know the lie.
You can't, because it's, how do I say it?
Before marriage, so it'd be stupid to bring up.
No, not necessarily that, but you kind of caught me off guard here with this question. How do I explain
That's
it?
what makes it fun.
There are not that there are secrets between our marriage.
Yeah.
But there are certain people, certain friends in my life who have confided in me.
Yeah.
And you've asked me, well, what did you guys talk about, or how's this, how's that? And then I'm like, great. Or I'll tell you, like, we did something when that's not what we did, or that's not what we talked about, because I'm not trying to break that confidence.
That makes sense.
Now, that is kind of at a, maybe it wasn't the question that you were looking for, the answer for the question that you were looking for, but if it comes towards like our relationship, I would say, yeah, like there was times where I've lied to protect your mental state.
Or not as harsh with me.
Or not as harsh with you, because you were already kind of in a delicate mind state, so to say. And there was no point in tearing you down even further. And so even though you've asked me, for this particular instance, like, is there anything else I need to know, or did I mess up on something else, or are you seeing it from a different way? I just left it at what we had discussed, because again, we had already discussed it. And so I didn't see the need to continue discussing it, so to say. Yeah. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, I get it. You gotta skirt around the lines. It's okay. It was not malicious.
It wasn't a malicious intent.
Yeah. Well, I have in terms of like eating out and stuff, and I'll say, no, I didn't, or something. Not big ones. I guess maybe white lies to not hurt feelings, but I can't think of anything that's just huge. I guess it would be similar things, like if someone disclosed something with me, I wouldn't break that boundary of sharing it too.
Yeah. I mean, that was a deep question. I wasn't expecting it.
It's like in the midst of like silly ones.
Well, no, it's just you got me thinking, and I don't know how I feel about the question, because white lies can turn into easier to deceive, or easier to lie, or easier to withhold information from. And I believe we've not done that. I don't think we've necessarily done that. But I think that, I don't know what I think. It's just a very interesting question.
Yeah.
Kind of stumped me there.
Well, I guess to avoid getting in trouble, that it might not be that. It's more of to protect.
But, well, I guess, yeah, I don't know.
Now you're thinking. Okay. Well, here we'll end with 2 fun ones, and then we'll talk more about that and your thoughts on the lies off the camera.
No, I mean, it doesn't have to be off
kidding.
camera. That doesn't bother me. No, I guess I'll close out my thought. It's just, there are certain things I didn't want to say it, but I'm not gonna mention it, because I promised myself that I would never speak about this, but there are certain things that have occurred in our life that I think if you were aware, not like cheating or anything like that, I think that if you were aware, it would stress you out more than you would be at that time. And one of those in particular was actually with Rhaegar. There was, you went through an intensive labor. And through that labor, there was times where, I'm not gonna lie, I started having doubts. I started having like, am I gonna lose you? Am I going to lose my son? And the reason why this question really stumped me is because that's exactly where my mind went. You asked me after Rhaegar was born if I was okay and how was I doing, and I just kept lying to you that I was fine. I was not fine. Like one of our friends actually checked in on me in a different way than other people did, other than, hey, how's the baby, how's Lynn? Like, this person, and you'll know who you are once I mention this, but this person intentionally said, how are you doing mentally? I know this can be very draining, and I know this can be a different challenge, and I just want to check in on you. And I just poured my heart out, because you went through 20 hours of labor where I honestly felt like I was going to lose you. And I honestly felt like I was going to lose my son. In fact, when Rhaegar was born, because I mean, this is my first time going through a birth.
Yeah.
When Rhaegar was born, he came out a little pale, right?
Yeah.
And he came out a little white. And so, he is white, but he came out a little pale, and like immediately my heart dropped. And you were like, how's my baby? Is my baby okay? And I'm like, yeah, he's fine. And then, but at that moment, all that happened so fast. At that moment, I did not know. And then the doctor picked him up, and then he started breathing, he started breathing and yelling and crying, and I was like, oh my God,
yeah,
my baby's fine.
That probably just felt like
that question just took me there, because when it comes to that kind of setting, I don't want to say, lying is the right thing to do. In fact, the Bible tells us that we shouldn't lie. But given the situation that you were in, given the mental state you were in, given the physical state you were in, me putting my worries on you would not have done anything for you, would not have done anything for our baby. And so, that's just where my mind went. So, sorry.
That's okay. I'm sorry I had to bring you back there.
No, it's fine.
Really scary and stressful. It was a lot. And it's hard for me to even kind of think about it because with biology, a lot of it, I forgot kind of how serious it was. I say the contractions were painful, but I know I was praying to God to help me through it, but I couldn't tell you exactly how bad it was or anything. I remember a lot of moments afterwards and how I was feeling afterwards, but during the whole process, it's kind of a blur, so it's different for me.
No, it was the most exciting, yet the most stressful, mentally draining, physically draining day of my life. And I've never been tested by God in that sense. And it really helped me grow. It really pushed me to pretty much the breaking point because I held it together literally. I don't think I've ever told you this, so I'm telling this to you now and telling it to all you guys. I literally did not break down or have an emotional breakdown until maybe 2 minutes before your doctor walked in. Because at that point, we had been waiting for 2 hours when the nurse told us that the emergency doctor would be arriving in an hour, double the time. And Lynn's crying, Lynn's screaming, Lynn's like, I'm not joking, like I'm not like terrible screams, but she was like, she was in pain. And at that point, like I broke down. I started questioning God. I started saying, God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you doing this to me? Why is this happening? And then I'm not even joking, not even 2 minutes later, that's when the doctor walked in. And you didn't see that side of me because you were turned around and I was trying to like rub your back and trying to help you be comfortable. But that day broke me. That day broke me in ways that I never wish to experience again or ever wish anyone to experience. That was rough.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Thanks for sharing that. Being comfortable
no
to share.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, let's just do one more question. And it'll just be a lighthearted one.
Yeah, I mean, you're cool. I'm good with it.
What is the best gift I've ever gotten you?
Oh, man.
That doesn't count as Rhaegar.
You've done so many. Okay. You do a really good job of paying attention. I think I do really good gifts, and
you do.
I will share
the ones I say.
No, but I will say that there are times where you've thought you've taken the icing on the cake for the gift giving, and then I come in with it's like Toy Story when Andy opens up all his gifts, and then Buzz Lightyear is the last one, and then Woody thinks and all the toys think that they're done. Boom, one more surprise. And so that's usually me who comes in with the last minute surprise. But let's see. Are we talking? Let's specify the question a little bit more.
Rhaegar doesn't count.
No, I know. But are we talking like materialistic gift or experience?
Anything. They're all gifts.
I'm not a gamer by any means. Like, serious gamer, I should say. I do game. I am a gamer, but I'm not like a serious gamer. In fact, I suck at most like Call of Duty games. I'm terrible at those games. But the PS5 came out. I really wanted one, but I didn't put a lot of effort into buying one. I was like, oh, well, when they come back into stock, I'll buy one eventually. No big deal. Lynn went through a lot of my friends to ask what is the best way to get a PS5 because she wanted to surprise me, and was not taking no for an answer. Like, she eventually found, she eventually got to some of my friends who were like, oh yeah, no, we'll help you out, and then they were already like getting on every single week, purchasing them like through each other's accounts.
They all have laptops.
Yeah, ready. And then once they buy one, they'd resell it or whatever. So then I jumped the list in a sense. They helped Lynn and helped me jump the list. And so the next PS5 that they landed, they gave it to me, and so Lynn bought it from them, and then it was just a really cool, really cool gesture of love because I just mentioned it. I was like, oh yeah, no, I do want to buy it, but it wasn't like anything that I absolutely needed. It wasn't anything that I absolutely like had to have at that moment. She just took it upon herself to say, you know what, I'm going to do something special, and I'm going to make it happen. And so I appreciate it. And in fact, I'll do one more story with that. there was one, and it deals with the PlayStation again. So for the PS4, I was working in the restaurant business at this time, and there was a sale for Black Friday. Now, here's where either Lynn's going to get credibility with the guys and maybe not credibility with the girls, but I had told Lynn, because I was working Thanksgiving Day, I said, hey, when we get off of work, my buddies and I, or my coworkers and I are going to go to Best Buy and buy the PS4. I was like, can you just do me a favor? If you're going to go Black Friday shopping, can you just go see if they have a bunch and then just put one in your cart and then just kind of like walk around the store. By the time that Black Friday shopping starts, we should only have like another hour, hour and a half maybe of work, 2 hours tops that I'll be late and be there. She's like, yeah, no problem. Well, 2 hours turned into 4 hours, not because I went out after work, but because that's how busy we were and people weren't trying to leave. So this trooper here, this MVP, stayed at the store for 4 hours just walking around the store until myself and my buddies got there to buy our PS4. But she took it a step further. She was pissed, but she took it a step further. She bought it, gave me the receipt, and said, Merry Christmas, I'm out of here, and just walked out of the store.
Just left.
And I was just sitting there like,
I also had his friends' PS4s in the cart for them.
Yeah.
So I had 3 in there, and his 2 friends. So I was like, here are yours. Gave Alex the receipt, and I left.
I was like, what just happened?
I was surprised they didn't think I was trying to steal. I was in there making laps for 4 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Never again. I don't like that store anymore.
MVP.
Well, thanks.
But anyways, yours. What was the question? What gift have I given you?
Yeah.
What is the best gift that I've given you?
So I have a few that all I feel are equivalent. My 2 pictures of Herrick, which is my dog that passed away. He was 15, and Alex got beautiful canvas prints of one of Herrick laying down with the poetry book I wrote, and I dedicated it to him, and then one of just like a cute one of him in the fall. Mm-hmm. So those 2 pictures, and then so this is where he came in and swooped in and did a better gift than me. For a more recent one is I got him, his sister and I got him a long, cool lightsaber that's real. The Darth Vader one that you hit and it makes the noise and it lights up. It's glowing glass. Mm-hmm. Beautiful lightsaber. But then I opened my gift from him, and it's a beautiful wooden frame with Dawson, my dog I have now, and the first duck he ever got, the feather.
3 feathers. Not the whole duck. But I pulled 3 of when we were breasting the duck. I kept one of the wings, and so I plucked 3 feathers from the wing, and then I put that in the frame.
Yeah, well, and it has a little plaque even. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. And so I cried and shocked, and it was such a sweet gift because I trained Dawson all on my own. He asked, do you want me to help? And I said, no, I'm going to do it. And I took it upon myself to train him, and he was able to retrieve a duck. And so Alex has that memorialized in a frame. So those are my 3 favorite ones, all having to do with my dogs because my dogs are my life, and those are the best gifts to me.
I love it. I appreciate that because those are, I would say that out of the gifts that I've given you, because we've taken a lot of memories, a lot of trips. I was going to
say a trip, but to me those are different.
Yeah, we've taken a lot of trips that I will say like, hey, this is our gift, or this is my gift to you, because I'm more about giving experiences versus materialistic things. Mm-hmm. As I've grown older, I've realized that even for myself, when I get material things, sometimes they will lose their shine at times. Mm-hmm. But a trip and memories made, that's something that we can always remember and experience together. So, but yeah, I would say that those 3 that you mentioned, those 3 that you mentioned are some of my favorites that I've given you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot of gifts out there, but those ones really stand out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Okay, that's the last question I'm going to ask because there's no way we could have gone through 33 of those questions.
Fair enough.
So maybe down the road
I honestly thought, I don't know, I wasn't keeping track of the numbers, but by the time you said that we were only at 15, I felt like we were at 25.
I think we did 19 in total.
Well, that's fine. But, I mean, yeah, hopefully that helps you guys get a little bit more perspective and a little bit more insight on, who we are. We really enjoy what we do. I can't remember, did you mention why we did a pivot for this episode versus what we normally would do?
No, just doing something. Well, I said that we were doing something fun just because of the 75 hard challenge and mixing it up a little. But.
Yeah, so we're mixing it up a little. One, I think this is a great way for you guys to get to know a little bit more about us. But also, as we've adjusted to our new schedule, doing 75 hard this week, one of the lessons learned is that we, not just the 70, what's required out of 75 hard, that we make those adjustments, but also learn to incorporate, the recording when we're going to record now, and all the other things that we do. So that has been it's been an adjustment week. We'll be way better and be ready, more prepared for next week. So that's why we did a little bit of a pivot and made it a little bit more fun and different from what we would normally do this time.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add?
Maybe just if you guys have any prayers you want us to pray for you, reach out to us and let us know, because that is something we still continue to do. We want to make sure that we are supporting you guys in any way.
Yeah, perfect. No, I appreciate that. I was going to mention, because we talked about the books that we've been reading.
Yeah.
I finished one of my books, which was the book that I was reading prior to starting this challenge. But this is the next book that I said I was going to read, Killing Sacred Cows. For those of you who are, and it's by Garrett Gunderson, if you're interested in increasing your financial literacy, or you're just looking for an interesting book to read, I recommend it. I'm a couple chapters in, but it's really helped change my way of thinking when it comes to certain aspects of financial literacy. I'm not, an expert in the book at all. Like I said, I'm just a couple chapters in, but definitely worth reading. I would recommend it. Very early on, it starts breaking down why some people have a scarcity mindset versus an abundant mindset, and how that affects you and other aspects of your life. So yeah, I would recommend it if that's something that you're interested in. But no, to add to what Lynn said, please let us know if there's something that we can pray for you for. We really enjoy doing this podcast. We really enjoy being able to share our stories and share our knowledge and wisdom with you guys. We're not experts in any way, shape, or form. We don't claim to be. We're just we believe that we're doing God's work by sharing our testimony with the world. And, we just appreciate the time and support that you guys have all given us so far. You can find us on social media. You can do the 75 Hard Challenge with us if that's something that you're interested in. Let us know. But other than that, our goal is just to continue improving, continue growing, continue learning alongside you guys. And please, I believe I said this before, but if I haven't, I'm saying it now. We're always welcome to feedback. If there's something that we could improve on, if there's something that we need to be doing better, please let us know. We're always welcome to feedback. We want to improve. We want to be better. We want to better serve you. That being said, I have gotten better about my posting. This whole week, I posted something on our Instagram social media page, so I can see it, growing a little bit more. So I'm going to just continue with that trajectory and building those good habits daily to do at least, a story post or a reel post or just a post. So yeah, just continue interacting with our social media and continuing to grow that. That's an area of opportunity for me where I still need to learn more. You're way better at it than me, but I do appreciate the help and support and your guys' patience and your patience through this whole process.
I think you've been doing a great job. I appreciate you taking that part on too, because I'm not a big social media person anymore. So I'm grateful that you're doing it and you get something from it too. He enjoys it. He makes really good videos. Thank you.
I will say, because depending on the topic, I'll do a cut from you that I post, or I'll do a cut from me. I think I've been beating you on the cuts. So in terms of views, so
good for you. I need to have some better.
Yeah, you need to throw out more wisdom out there.
I need to have more quotes. I'm gonna hit you guys next week with some deep ones then.
Cool.
So watch out.
Cool. Something to look forward to. Well, as always, we appreciate the time spent with us. We appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. We hope that you go out there this week and shatter your limits and ascend. Talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.